Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are tackling ACIM Lesson 79. And if you've ever felt like your entire life is just constantly putting out one fire after another, well, the source text we're unpacking today offers a seriously unique perspective on that. Let's jump right in and see how this philosophy actually applies to our everyday stress. Okay, let's dive into this. The entire foundation of today's lesson rests on this one incredibly powerful statement. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. The material makes a brilliantly simple point here. I mean, think about it. A problem literally cannot be solved if you don't actually know what it is, right? Even if a problem is technically already solved, you're still going to feel the pain of it because you just haven't recognized the solution. It's kind of like having the antidote right there in your pocket while you're agonizing over the poison, completely unaware that you're holding the cure the whole time. So let me ask you a question, and I want you to really think about this for a second. Why does it feel like our problems never truly end? We have all been there. You finally get the car fixed, and boom, the roof starts leaking. You resolve this huge argument with a friend, and suddenly there's a massive crisis at work. It is exhausting. It feels like this relentless game of whack-a-mole where you're just perpetually bracing yourself for the next difficulty to pop up. And the source text actually perfectly describes this exact situation. We find ourselves in this place where there seems to be absolutely zero time where we feel completely free of problems and truly at peace. Which brings us to Section 1, the illusion of many problems. Think about the sheer complexity of everyday life for a second. Constant new problems arise, seemingly out of nowhere, right when you thought you finally had everything under control. And because these problems come in such wildly varying forms, on so many different levels, financial, relational, physical, we're left with this overwhelming feeling of inevitable failure. Like no one could possibly solve all the problems the world appears to throw at us. The text points out that dismay and depression are the inevitable results of looking at life this way. Even the issues we try to just sweep under the rug, they remain unsolved under this cloud of denial, only to spring up and haunt us again later. It's just a desperate, chaotic cycle. Now, what's really interesting about this is how the world presents such a stark contrast to this philosophy. On one hand, the world insists that you have endless, unique problems and each one requires a completely different, highly specific answer. It's a totally impossible situation. But on the other hand, the reality presented in the text is quite different. It says all this complexity is actually just a desperate attempt not to recognize the actual problem. The reality is that everyone's special, unique problems are actually all exactly the same. There's only one problem, and logically, because there is only one problem, there is only one guaranteed solution. So what is it? Let's look at Section 2, the root cause, which is separation. The source text identifies the singular root cause as separation. To make this super relatable for all of us, just think of separation as that fundamental feeling of being disconnected. It's the illusion that you are somehow isolated from peace, cut off from others, or disconnected from your own true self. Every single time you feel anxiety, anger, or fear, no matter what the external trigger seems to be, it is ultimately just a symptom of this one core belief that you are separate and alone. This is literally the only problem you actually have, regardless of what form it takes on the surface. And here is the absolute most incredible, liberating realization from the text. The problem of separation has already been solved. It is already solved. But, here's the catch. If you truly believe your problem is your bank account and someone hands you the solution to separation, you're not going to see its relevance. You'll reject the answer because you've completely misdiagnosed the disease. If we can just recognize that our only actual problem is this deep feeling of separation, we can instantly accept the answer and finally find peace. We'll understand that we already have the means to solve everything at once. All right, let's get practical. Section 3, the long practice. During the longer practice periods today, here's exactly what you're going to do. Step 1, try to free your mind of all the many different kinds of problems you think you have. Step 2, ask what the real problem is, but, and this is key, do not assume you already know the answer. Step 3 is vital. Wait for the answer. Just be still and wait. The text promises that you will be told. And finally, Step 4, once you recognize the problem, ask for the solution to it, and again, you will be told. It's really an exercise in letting go of our own relentless need to always define our struggles. So the crucial point is this. You might be sitting there thinking, I can't possibly let go of all my preconceived notions, my problems feel way too real, and honestly, that is perfectly fine. The text actually assures us that complete success in letting go isn't required today. All that's necessary is that you simply entertain some doubt about the reality of your version of the problems. Just crack the door open a tiny bit. Allow for the possibility that you might be wrong about what's actually bothering you. That tiny bit of willingness, that's enough for the problem and the answer to be brought together. Moving right along to section 4, the short practice. Now, these short practices aren't set by the clock. They're set by your actual need throughout the day. Whenever any difficulty seems to rise up today, you're going to act quickly. Step 1, a difficulty hits. Step 2, immediately tell yourself, let me recognize this problem so it can be solved. Step 3, try to suspend all judgment about what the problem is. Don't instantly blame your boss or the traffic or your spouse. And step 4, if possible, just close your eyes for a quick moment and ask what the problem really is. The source text explicitly promises us you will be heard and you will be answered. And that brings us to section 5, daily summary and conclusion. Let's move to and see how this builds our daily focus. I really want to bring us right back to our core statement today. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. This right here is your anchor. Do not be deceived by the form of the problems that show up today. Whether it looks like a flat tire or a broken heart, remind yourself that there is only one problem, and in that recognition, all problems are resolved. Here is a quick visual summary for the day so you know exactly what to do. You have your long practice. Dedicate a few longer periods today to actively question your assumed problems, wait in silence, and ask for the solution. And then you have your short practice. This one is highly responsive. It's driven purely by need. The very second a difficulty arises, you suspend your judgment, recite our quote, and ask what the problem truly is. If you stick to this, you are actively dismantling that exhausting illusion of endless problems. If you found this explainer helpful and want to continue transforming how you see the world, please make sure to like this explainer and subscribe to the channel for more insights just like this one. We absolutely love bringing this source material to life for you guys. And I want to leave you with one final provocative thought as you go about your day. The very next time you feel stressed, angry, or overwhelmed, what problem will you reframe today? Will you cling to the illusion of complexity, or will you recognize the one true problem so you can finally accept the peace that's already waiting for you? Have a wonderful day, everyone, and happy practicing.